Awesome. Okay, now it's recording. Okay, so there was an issue because somebody put some AI note takers and they were recording, so I was not able to. But yeah, once again, welcome to today's session of Figma Basics. We have 60 plus people on the call, and once again, a warm welcome to all of you. Sorry for the slight delay that we had to push it by half an hour. I got some urgent commitments that I had to fulfill, and now that you all are here, without wasting any further time, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and just confirm if you all can see my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible to all of you? Can you all just confirm? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So if my screen is visible, let me go to open Figma. So this is Figma that I've just opened. Okay. And I'm going to close something. And yeah, this is how the Figma dashboard looks like. You can download the Figma software from figma.com online. Okay, so you can just go to figma.com and download a web version, or you can even use the Figma on your browser as well. It is not compulsory that you have to download it and install it on your system. So this is something in the browser, and this is the same that is in the desktop. Okay, so if you look at it, both look the same. There's no difference between the browser and the desktop software. It is just the same thing, but it works offline without your URL bar and no other disturbances of tabs. Okay, that's the only difference. So if you want to use it on your browser also, not a problem, or you can use it on as a desktop software. Now I am using the desktop software so that there's no other disturbances that comes in over here. Okay, and let us go for, and you can log in with your any of your Gmail ID. So you can click on, you can add multiple accounts also. Okay, and you can click on add account, and you can log in with your Gmail ID or any of your email ID password that you wish to create. Okay, so Figma is very open. I prefer Google login so that everything is synced. And time being, because I'm already logged in, this is how my Figma looks like. So I hope everybody is able to see it clearly and hear me clearly. Yes or no? Yes, right? Perfect. So now let's get started. So I'm going to go and create a project. Okay, so in Figma, a very quick introduction of what is this all dashboard all about. Okay, so as soon as you open your Figma, you will see something called as recents, where all your previous files that you have been working upon will be visible over here on the top. Along with that, Figma themselves have their own community of resources and learning kits. You can even click on them and start learning from here as well, or you can learn from today's session of live that we're happening now. At the same time, there is something called as community over here. Figma has a big community where a lot of creators from in and around the world will upload their designs so other people can also see. And it's a free of cost. Now, community works very differently. Community means to share with people. So you can see over here, like somebody shared this particular design, and it's been used by 272K people. Okay, that means 272,000 people have used this small little design of stickers. Okay, similarly, there was a pitch deck design somebody has created and made it public, and these are all created by Figma community itself. And you can see like 120,000 people have used. At the same time, let's say you are searching for something particular, like a food app. Okay, so I can search in the Figma community. There'll be a lot of people who would have already created a lot of UI designs for various food apps and would be available for free of cost for you to open it and see it as well. For example, let's say I take this one simple food app kit. I do open in Figma. I'm selecting the project where I want to open this, and then I have just opened this particular Figma file. And you can see on the left side is nothing but the pages. Okay, and they have created some mobile screens. As you go, you can see the mobile screens are available. The images take some time to load because we have just opened the file. And this is how you can see that you could find a simple UI kit of a food app designed right over here in Figma. Okay, so that's the basic of the community. Then you have something called as drafts, where you have all your projects, whatever you're working on. As you see over here, this is the draft file. We just now created it. We did not move it inside any of the project. So it is a draft file which is available over here. And then you have projects, like you can create multiple projects by clicking plus, and let's say I call it as project one. And inside this project, then you can add people who will be part of this project. And then let's say I have Karan at the rate aidfx.in is one of the person who can edit this or can view my project. Again, I can decide the role of this particular person, or even if I don't want to add any person, I can remove it and then I can just create a project. And a project will be created. And in this project is nothing but like folders. Now, inside the folders, you could have multiple files. For example, if I go to any other project, like I have a team project, there are 3 files inside it. Now it's up to me if I want to share the entire project with somebody or if I just want to share this one little file to somebody. Okay. Now coming to all projects and coming back to our Figma basics, which is our today's session, I just created this project. Now this project, I'm going to delete it. Okay. And now we'll go back to Figma basics. And now over here, you see one file. But even if I do not have this file, let's say I delete this file. Okay, you will have the option to create a kind of file in this particular project. Now, Figma over a period of time has become a very vast software. It is not just limited to UX UI design. It is equivalent for graphic designers, for packaging designers, print media designers, presentation designers, and website designers. All of them can use Figma and their multiple different products and create amazing outputs. So now the first one is nothing but the design. That is something that we would use to create all our UX UI designs. Okay. Then you have something called as FigJam. I don't know how many of you have heard of FigJam, but this is something where we collaborate for ideation and thinking purpose. I will show each one of them as simple samples. Then you have slides where you create PowerPoint kind of presentations inside Figma. Then you have Figma Make, which is nothing but an AI tool of Figma where you create a prompt and the prompt will give you the output of your UI screen. And it also builds the UI which is code ready, so which you can directly give it to developers. Then you have Figma Buzz, which is like work in progress. Even I have not explored much. At the same time, you have Figma Sites where you can build your own portfolio websites or websites for simple presentations over here. Then you can import other Figma files that you have downloaded from the internet. But I think, yeah, Figma Buzz is majorly for social media. Sorry, I am aware of it. So Figma Buzz is all about creating your social media creatives, more for graphic designers and for you to make responsive creatives across multiple platforms. Okay, so I will come back over here and going back to Figma basics. So because I just clicked on Buzz, you see one untitled file got created. But now we are going to explore more of Figma design. Okay. And apart from that, you also have Thrash, where if you can find all your deleted items that whatever you have deleted. Then you have resources. If you want to create your own resources for you to use across multiple projects. Okay, so you can create consistent templates or resources which can be used by your other team members or by yourself across multiple projects. And then this is the admin where you can invite users to your particular project or to your Figma file or wherever you wish to add. Now coming to basics, what we majorly use out of all of this, and the same options you can see on top: design, FigJam, slides, make, buzz, and site. We are going to come back to our projects and going to take Figma basics. And inside this, I'm going to create a design file. And now a design file has been created in Figma, and we will explore the basic interface first, and then we will start designing. Now, you see the file name by default is untitled. Now, this file should always be renamed to whatever is your project file. So I will double click here and I can rename, or I can even double click here and I can rename. So I will call it as Figma Basic Workshop. Okay, you see it got updated here as well and here as well. So you can update that. And then you have all the options over here. If you want to duplicate this project, you want to see history of what all changes have happened in this project, you want to duplicate this project, you want to rename this, or you want to move this file to another project. Okay, that's the drop down. Then you have this two little divisions over here. One is the pages and the second is nothing but the layers. How many of you over here have used Photoshop or Illustrator? If you all are designers, yes or no? Photoshop. A lot of you, right? Perfect. And so I hope you all understand the concept of layers. Perfect. So I will not have to explain layers, okay, for today. But just like pages, you have got multiple layers. So every element, small little, even like I draw one little box also, a layer is created for that. Okay, I draw another second box, I'll have another rectangle layer created. I have another box created, I have another layer created. Okay, let's say I draw another simple line also, a layer is created. And just like if you have to do grouping, what is a shortcut to group anything? Even if you know Canva, Figma, and Canva are almost very, very similar. Okay, guys. So shortcut for group. Okay, let's keep it interactive. Control G. Very good. So I'm going to select three elements. I can just drag and select, or I can use the Shift also and select, or I can use Control also and select multiple elements. Okay, I select all and I press Control G. You can see on the left, this layers, it became a group, and inside the group, you have those three rectangles. Okay, very clear. So this is a very simple short forms that I'm showing you. One is a group. Okay, now over here comes the pages. So let's say I'm going to add one shape over here, and I'll take another page. We call it as page 2, and we will rename. We can even double click on this and rename the page. Let's say I will call it as uh, practice design. Okay, and then let's say you're working on a very big file. You have got multiple pages. Like they are when we are working in big design projects, you will have multiple modules as separate pages, and you would like to create divisions among them. Like you want to divide the set of pages also. So to do that, you can do add new page, and you can just put this hyphen multiple times, press enter. You can see it automatically created a divider over there. Okay, so now this is the divider which I can move around, and it is no more a page, but it becomes a divider. Can you see, everybody? Very clear how this dividing has happened? Perfect. So I can even rename this page 1 as learning and page 2 as practice design. Okay, and you can see a division has been created between these two. I can right click and I can even delete a divider. Okay, at the same time, I can copy links to this pages. So if I right click on any of this, so let's say when you're sharing your Figma files, there are multiple ways that you can share your Figma files. Now, this is very important because when you're working on very big projects, you need to be very clear what is it that you want to share. Okay, do I want to share this entire page, or do I want to share this entire Figma file, which I can click on top right and share, or I want to share a particular screen of that Figma file, okay, which I select and that particular element and I click share. So each and every link will be different. Once again, if you're asking divider, please, I'm going to add a page, okay, and let's say this is page 3, but I will double click it and I will put hyphens over here, multiple hyphens, and just press enter. It automatically converts into a divider. So if you add multiple hyphens, it becomes a divider by itself. Okay, clear everybody? Yeah, awesome. So now that you all understood how to create a divider, let us go forward and explore some of the other elements. So coming back to the learning page, let's see what all are the tools that we have at the bottom and what are all the options or the settings that we have on the right side. So they are basically two major panels, left panel, right panel. Okay. Left panel has only two major things. One is the pages and the layers. And then there's an other important item which is called as the assets. Okay. This is something called as assets. Now, what is assets? I will keep it in the last. I will not start with this at this point of time because it might get confusing. We will start with basics. Now, left panel, right panel. Now, anything that you select over here will have its own all options on the right side of your screen. Okay. And even if I just click outside and this empty artboard area or the space that you see, which is like unlimited or infinite canvas. Okay. I can call it as canvas. I can call it as space. I can call it as artboard, any word, whichever is suitable to you. Now, this is infinite in Figma. You can end up going as far as you want. Okay, so I can even keep putting as far and as far. Now, how I am zooming in, zooming out, I am pressing the control key and using my mouse wheel to zoom in, zoom out, or I can do control plus, control minus, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, everybody clear how I am zooming in, zooming out? Perfect. Let me delete all these squares again. Now I'm again blank. If I press Control 0, you can see zoom to 100%. Okay, shortcut to 100% zoom or the actual size is Control 0. Okay, now let's explore what are all these options over here. To do that, first I'm just going to draw one little square. Okay, which is this is the shape tool. Now this particular arrow, you have the move tool, the hand tool, and the scale tool inside this particular arrow. Let us understand each of these three. The move tool is nothing but to select an object and to move it in any of your space. Okay. Now, am I really moving it, or is the artboard moving? How do you know that? So there are two things. Artboard is nothing but moving the space which is over here, and this is nothing but moving the object in the space. So if you see the X and Y over here, now if I move, the X and Y is nothing but the position of the square is changing in my artboard or in my canvas. But now let's say if I take the hand tool and now if I move, you can see what is moving, the canvas or the artboard. Okay, the empty space is what I'm moving. I'm not moving the object. Is this clear to everybody? The first one is nothing but to move the object or the elements or your layers in your file. Whereas the second one is nothing but to move your entire artboard or your entire canvas. Clear? Then comes the third tool, which is the scale tool. So scale tool is nothing, which is the short form for scale is K. Very, very important to remember the short forms. Okay, now for the hand tool, there is one more short form. Okay, instead of pressing H, and let's say I'm in the move tool itself, but I suddenly, like, let's say I move this. Now I want to move on the left side. Maybe there is another screen, for example. Let's do that. Okay, let's say this is screen one. I duplicate this, I duplicate this. Now there are three screens. So, and let's say I'm working on this screen and I'm trying to create some kind of a rectangle box over here like this. Now I want to move on the left and see what else is there on the left side. So I can even use my space bar. So as soon as I press space bar, it becomes a hand tool. Okay, I see as soon as I leave, it is back to the previous tool. But as soon as I press the space bar, it becomes the hand tool. So I press the space bar and I can keep moving wherever I want to. Okay, with my mouse click. Okay. Now, obviously, you all can go back and practice it live inside your Figma. Okay. So now I'm just using the space bar and moving it. If I leave the space bar, I'm back to the move tool. Okay. The short form for move tool is letter V. Okay. Remember that. V is for move tool. Spacebar or the H is for the hand tool, and to scale is nothing but the K tool. Okay, the K shortcut. Now, what is scaling? Very simple. So if I just want to make this in proper ratio, if I go randomly, it is changing the size, but not in the proper ratio. Okay. So now if I use the K tool, I've got the scale. Okay, at over here. So automatically on right side, you see the option change to scale. So once again, observe, I am in the move tool. Do you see any option of the scale on the right side? No. As soon as I press K, you see it became a scale option got activated. Now it is asking from which point, which center point you want to scale, whether center or top left, top right, from where you want to scale. So let's say I scale this, it's scaling, okay, from top left. You can see it's scaling from top left. Even if I go big or small, it's scaling from top left. Let's say I make it center, okay, then it is scaling from the center. Okay, now let's say if I take here, then it will scale from bottom left. Even if I go, it will scale from bottom left and it will scale in the exact ratio. Okay, it is scaling in perfect ratio. Let's say I make the size of the square as 300 into 300. It's a perfect square, 300 by 300. Now if I press K tool, and you can see if I'm scaling, both the values are the same. Okay, now the other way to use the scale tool is, let's say I want to make half of this existing. Okay, so I can just do over here instead of 1x. Okay, let's say I need 2x. Okay, so I just make it 2x and it automatically becomes 600 into 600. You don't have to calculate the values. Again, I come back to this thing. So I do minus 1x. Okay, you see it became smaller, 6 into 6. Okay, again, I should have just put 1x, or I can reduce over here also, the way you want to scale all of this. Okay, so let's say if I make another way to do is you can put values on the right side. I am just putting 300. Automatically, the next one also became 300. Okay, so everything depends. You can even go like this. Okay, you can make half. If you want to do half of existing, let's say if it is 600, okay, and I want to make it half of it, just click 0.5 and it will become half. Okay, so this, now we use majorly the scale tool in graphics, like say the posters and all that we want to put inside our screens. That's when we will use. But when we design one thing, we will automatically understand. So everybody is clear with the first set of tools: move tool, hand tool, and the scale tool. Yes, everyone? 80 people on the call. So I hope you all are clear. Perfect. Awesome. Now let's go and understand the other set of tools. Okay. Coming back, I'm zooming out, selecting all and deleting it. The second set of tool again has three things: frame, section, and slice. Okay. Let us understand all of these three now. Now, as soon as I select frame, look at the right side. What is happening? Frame is nothing but the artboard. Okay, so in this canvas, now we want to create a frame or an artboard of a particular size. Like in Photoshop or Illustrator, we take a particular size, right? We take a A4 or A5 or let's say 1080 by 1080. So depending on the UI, UX or UX UI, whatever you are designing, let's say I'm designing for phone. And you can see over here, a lot of models are predefined for which kind of phone you are designing. Okay, so let's say I take Android medium. Automatically there's a size for it that is already created over here. Now let's say if I take iPhone 17, you can see iPhone 17 size is automatically predefined and perfectly created over here. Again, if I click over here, you can even go like for tablet design, for desktop design, which is nothing but your websites and all, for presentations, for watch design, for your print design like A4, A5, A6, for your social media creatives, whether Instagram story, Instagram post, Facebook cover, and all of that. Then you have some different for the Figma community, you have to create assets. So those sizes are predefined over here. And there are a lot of other sizes that are for the older devices. So if somebody is using iPhone 13 or somebody using Google Pixel 2, so these are all the older devices which you can still find them over here. Okay, so time being, we'll go with the phone, and generally we prefer iPhone 14 plus, or we sometimes take with iPhone 14. Depends. Okay, anything is fine. It doesn't make much of a difference. Most of them are like around 402 itself, if you see over here. And 412, the ratio always remains the same. So anything is fine that you can start with. Okay, even if I take iPhone 17, that is good to go, because when we are designing our screens, the width is what matters. The height will continuously keep on varying as and when we require. Okay, so now again, let's say I'm creating another frame. So I've got frame 2, and then let's say I create another frame. I've got frame 3. So these are like three different frames now, nothing but acting like artboards over here. So in this particular artboard, now if I start drawing anything, okay, you see on the left side in the layers, you see this particular object or the element is going inside the frame. Okay, as soon as I select the object and shift it here, you see it automatically changes the frame. Let's say I go and move it over here, it automatically changes the frame. Okay, so this is nothing but a kind of an artboard. Now if I move the frame, all the elements which are inside it will also move. Okay, all the elements which are inside the frame will also move. Clear? Perfect. The duration will be till 11:30. So just go on. We started at 9:30. We planned for 2 hours, 1.5 hour to 2 hours. So up to you all. If you think it all gets over and you think you want to split it and make it to part 2, we'll do it tomorrow. But let's continue. I hope I'm clearly audible and that you all are enjoying. Yes, is it clearly understandable, or do you think am I going too fast? Should I reduce my speed? I hope I'm not fast enough. Everybody, because I'm seeing this side because all your chats are on the right side of my screen. Okay, perfect. Good to go. So now the frame, remember there's one important thing. Whatever you do in your Figma files, let's say you want to become a pro designer, work with multiple teams and collaborate with multiple people, renaming of your layers and your frames are very, very important. Okay. You don't do that, another designer is just going to get messed up because he's not going to find what he's exactly looking for. So always rename whatever the design of that particular screen is and try to rename your layers. Now the good part over here is renaming of your layers. Figma has got its AI into place, which will auto detect and auto rename all the layers for you. Okay, but it still cannot rename the frame. Figma takes the frame name as the base. Based on the frame name, it will do the renaming of the layers. Okay, so this renaming you will have to do. Other renaming, nowadays you have got AI to do that part for you. But still, every AI that you use is going to consume credits. Okay, and credits are very limited. On a free account, they just give you around 200 or 1000 credits. And even that renaming of like 10 layers will take away like 1 credit. So everything comes at a cost. So still build a habit of renaming it. Okay, now first is nothing but the frame. Okay, at the same time, let's say this is an object. Okay, now I can even convert this particular object, right click, and I can do frame selection. Okay, so now what happened? A frame got created, and inside the frame this rectangle has become the part. Okay, can you see this? So let's say if I delete this again, I take a new rectangle square like this. Okay, and let's say if this is of 402 by 874. I take the exact 402 by 874. By mistake, let's say I ended up taking a rectangle over here from the shape tool, and I forgot to create a frame. So it's okay, not to worry. You can just select this, right click, and you can click on frame selection. Automatically that entire thing became a frame, and now you can have the element inside it. So this thing is part of the frame. Okay, so you see this is the frame, but this thing is part of the particular frame. Now again, as I move this, all the elements are moving. Even if little bit of it is outside, it is still moving. So Figma considers like element or anything has to be a little more than 50%. If it is part of the frame, it will consider as one pack. But as soon as I make more than 50% outside of it, okay, sometimes it will drive away outside that frame, and it will no more be a part of that frame. So now even if I removed it and now I'm moving this, it is still moving. Okay, but many a times it does happen that if I remove this, it will detach itself from the frame. See, now I moved it little far, it detached automatically from its frame. Okay, so let's say I put it here, it became part of this frame. As soon as I move it out, you see it detached itself and it became a separate element and no more part of the frame. So a 50% is required for it to be a part of the frame. Time being, it may show like it is part of the frame because it is more than 50%. But as soon as I remove it out, okay, almost less than 50, currently it is coming. But when I reload this file, this will not be part of the frame. It will become a separate element outside like this. Okay. Now, why do we use frames? Let us understand that part in little more details. So let's say this is my frame. Now, inside this frame, I will have an object created. Okay, I'm just going to quickly design some simple little element over here. And for this frame, I can even add a color, background color. So let's say I take a simple color, cream color, and let's say I'm adding a little bit of square. Okay, I'll add, duplicate this. I'm pressing Alt to duplicate. Okay, I duplicated this, and I one more time I duplicated this. All of this, let's say I make it as a group. Okay, inside a frame, I have a group. Now, benefit of a frame. Something is coming outside the frame also, but it is still visible. But let's say you're making an app for any kind of food app or entertainment app or e-commerce app. You will have rails, right, which you can swipe left and right. Okay, now on the right side, let's see some of the properties that come in for the frame. You can have this option called clip content. That means you can hide the elements which are outside the frame and are still not going to be visible. Okay, so some of people are telling use dark mode. Do you all want me to shift to a dark mode design of Figma? No, it's okay. We'll go with white because a lot of colors are then difficult. Many are telling yes. Okay, we can switch to dark mode. Not that we cannot. Okay. We will switch to dark mode then. Let me switch to dark mode. I'll have to change all the way from settings, guys, which is exactly why I'm avoiding, but that's okay. I still don't see that. Let's continue with this. But there is a way to do it. 1 second. Yeah, it is inside. Let me come to this. Preferences, theme, dark. Okay, guys. I hope it is visible to all of you. Visible? Everybody? Perfect? Okay. Okay. Let's continue. So now, if you look at this, I've taken a screen. Okay, I'll even convert this particular page background to dark so that it is very easy for all of you. And now this one particular frame, okay, whatever I've taken over here, whatever is there, I have clipped the content. So if I enable this, this is also visible. But if I clip it, anything outside of that frame is not going to be visible. Okay. Now coming to this frame part, let's see there's so many options that we have inside this. First is the positioning. So as soon as I click center, you see the element inside it got aligned to it as center. Okay. So depends how you click and utilize all the options. Then you have the position of the frame, X and Y, the rotation of the frame if you want to rotate. Okay. Then if you want to like rotate 90 or flip horizontal, flip vertical, all of those options for the frame. Then you have the layout options, okay, like freeform layout, vertical layout, horizontal layout, or grid layout. Now, these are nothing. This is where the entire interesting thing part comes in, but we will explore as we go a little further. Then let's explore this common options that we have for all the elements, whether I select even a particular layer or a shape or even a frame or anything. Appearance is nothing but the overall opacity. Okay, so let's say if I have a particular square over here with a fill color of red and I select this, I reduce its opacity. You can see its opacity being reducing. Now there are two ways to do that. Now again depends where you use which kind of opacity to reduce. One, you can even reduce with this. You can see the fill percentage is 100. You can reduce the opacity from here as well. Okay. Or you can reduce the entire overall appearance over here and make the opacity less. Now, different use cases. Let's say I also have a stroke to it. So let's say I have a yellow color stroke to it, which is of this thing. Okay. Now you see this. There's a yellow color stroke and a red color box. If I reduce the overall opacity, even the stroke opacity, fill opacity is all taken care. Everything is reduced. But if I only change the fill opacity, then only the fill color is changing, not the stroke. Okay. I can individually also balance my opacities as per my requirement. Is this clear, everybody? The opacity part. One is the entire opacity, and the other is the fill opacity or the stroke opacity. Okay. Then we have something over here called as the effects. So to any shape, you can have multiple effects, like one is drop shadow. Then you can adjust the shadow position, X and Y position, the amount of blurriness that you want to add, the spread of the shadow that you want to add, and the color of the shadow that you wish to add. Okay, so you see, this is the element, but because we have added a shadow, the bounding box is only this much, but this is all the shadow that is getting casted. Now, you could also have something called as layer blur, like blurring the entire layer. Whatever you have, you can blur the amount of blur that you wish to set. Now, where do we use all of this? Okay, these are different questions that you might have. When should we use layer blur? When should we use background blur? When should we use noise? Explain. Okay, and how do we use texture and the glass? I'll explain all of these also. Okay, one by one. Okay, but time being, understand that you have effects over here. And then last option is nothing but the export. Like exporting this element outside of Figma. Now, if you select this part and click on export, it is only going to export this part for you. If I select this frame and then if I click the export, it is going to export the entire part of it. Okay. And coming back to the frame options, all of this appearance, you can now see all the objects and everything gets reduced because everything inside the frame is now affected with this opacity. Fill is nothing but the fill color or the background color of the entire frame or the scene. Okay, you can decide the whichever the fill color that you wish to have. And stroke is nothing but the stroke color that you can add to your entire frame if you wish to, but we generally do not use that. Very rare that we might use stroke. Again, you can add effects to the entire frame as well. Okay, you can have layer blur. All the elements in that will be blurred. Depends how you wish to use it. And then you have layout guide. Now this is something new. Up until now, we did not see this. Okay. Now layout guide is very, very important. So let's say we are designing something for the mobile. Now each mobile, whether it is Android or iOS, each one follows a grid system by default. So now if I click on plus, okay, you can see currently it is adding a grid, okay, which is all a checkered boxes, and you can decide the grid size. So this is majorly useful if you're doing any kind of pixel based of designing. Okay, but instead of grid, I have something called as columns. You can see now I have columns which are coming over here, and I can then decide the number of count of the columns, whether I want one column, whether I want two columns, whether I want three columns, or I want four columns. Okay, or if I want six columns, depends on that. Now, because in mobile or any website, at the left and at the right, there is no element that touched the edge of your screen. Okay, in that case, you will have a little bit of margin for each and every screen. Okay, so you can put the margin value for your grid. So this is nothing but, let's say, by default, any margin or any spacing in your UX UI design is in multiples of 4. For example, 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12, 4 fours are 16. So Android minimum margin that you should be having is 16 pixels. Okay, so at the left and at the right or at the edges, you have 16 pixels of margin. And then the gutter is nothing but the space between the margin. Okay, the space between the margin. This also will be in multiples of 4. So I can go again 12 or 16. I'll prefer 16, and I will generally go for, let's say, 5 columns, or you can even go for 6 columns. Now, how are these grids useful to us? Now, let's say I'm going to design any of my screen for my mobile, and I'm designing my square cards. Okay, exactly now, no, these are the card sizes that I need to take, which is perfect for a Android design. Okay, I just created squares on top, squares at bottom. I can select the frame. At the end of the design, once I've got my layout in place, I can hide my columns. You can see the eye symbol over here is to hide your grids or the columns that you have created. Okay, the layout guide. Everybody is clear with the layout guide? Now, to understand the layout guide, let me show you something. You should go to Google and check Material UI theming. Okay, so this is nothing but Google Material UI is nothing but a design system created by Google. Okay, where it very clearly explains every little element and the amount of spacing that it requires. Okay, everybody clear? We will give you the session recording. All of these links and materials and all of this is also going to be part of the giveaway. Okay, so don't worry about all of this. We will give you everything. So now we need to follow certain guidelines. For example, we want to design a small little button. But before we design the button, let us go and understand some more options of the frame. Okay, so coming back to the frame, now you have understood all of this. Anybody has got any doubts so far? No, right? Let's say we have designed this. And now if I export this, okay, I'm exporting this as a PNG on my downloads. Whatever is the frame name is what is coming over here. And I click save. Okay, I'll just change the name as sample design and I click save. Automatically in my downloads, that particular file will be available. Okay, you can see sample design is here. I double click on it and the PNG file of that particular frame is exported. You can see it very clearly. Now let's say if I want to export this in a little big size, then instead of changing the size for the entire design, I can make the export size to 2x, which is nothing but double of the current size, or 3x, which is 3 times of the current size, and then export it again. So let's say I now again export and replace it, then automatically the size of this will be the 3x of the existing, and it will be much more clearer. Okay, so you can zoom in a little bit more. Clear? So this is still at 58%. So if I do it as 100%, okay, you can see this is the actual size of the design that we exported out of Figma. Okay, clear everyone so far? So in the frame, one is the clip content. Okay, so which is a very big option. So if let's say if anything is going outside the frame, is still not being visible to you. But if I remove this option of clip content, then the any element that is going out is still going to be visible to you. Okay, so clipping the content is important. Now let us go a little forward. Now there are like multiple frames. Okay, so let's say if you are making a design for login screens. So the first screen could be, let's say, the mobile number entering. Then the second screen could be the OTP that you are entering. Let's say the third screen is nothing but the successful login or the home screen. Now this entire thing is a one part of the flow called as the onboarding flow. Okay. Now if I want to group that entire onboarding flow, let's say if I select all these frames and do Control G, then you see it just becomes a group and all the layer names and everything is gone. Again, a designer will not be able to analyze and find everything properly. So that is not the right way. So in that case comes the second option, which is called as the section. Okay. Now if I take a section, I can draw a section entirely grouping all of these. Now for this section, I can again rename it called as onboarding flow, and then this particular section has got multiple screens inside it. So let's say this is the splash screen, this is the login screen, this is the sign up screen, and let's say this is the OTP screen. Okay, so this is how you double click also and rename the frames over here, and you can double click here and rename the section over here. So are you all now clear what does a section do and what does a frame do? Everybody? Yes or no? Everyone? Clear? So now what happens is I can select this onboarding flow and I can move the entire frames along with it. Okay. Without group, can we make section? There is no need of any grouping to make a section. So let's say there is no file or nothing over here. I just take the section tool. I can just draw an empty section. Okay, the section is ready. Now, let's say if I draw anything also is now going to be part of that section. Okay, it is going to be part of the section. But as only one option differs is the clipping option. So if you see the frame, you get the clipping content and the layout options. But for the section, you don't see the clipping or the layout options visible for you. You don't even get the effects over here. Okay. So that is the difference that you see between the frame and the section. Section is nothing but a group of frames. Remember that. Group of frames is called as the section. Clear? Okay. Where is the section tool? You click the down arrow over here in the tools and you see the arrow in this. Second is the section, first is the frame. Okay, so for the frame the short form is letter F. Okay, and for the section is shift S. Okay, shift S is nothing but the section. Now then you have the last tool, which is the slice tool, which is nothing but if you want to cut any shape or slice anything or figure out the gap or the measurements. But time being, we are not going to use this much. So let's ignore this for time being. We will analyze and understand this slice tool later. Okay. So I can just go here, put it, and then figure out the sizes for this particular shape. But we don't use this ever. So don't even explore it. It's just for getting the measurements of exactly where your elements are and all of that. But time being, not required. Then comes the shape tool. Okay, inside the shape arrow you have the square, rectangle, arrow. Now see, line, arrow, ellipse, polygon, star, and image. Now let us understand all of these properly, because all of your UI design is going to happen majorly with these elements itself. Up until now, whatever we did was nothing but defining the size of the screen. After you have got the size of the screen, all the design is going to happen with this shapes only, or with this line tools here and there, or with your polygons, okay, over here, or any of your images that you place in your this thing. Okay, so let's say I drag and drop, I place, and then that image got placed over here. And it's a big image, so I make it small. Okay, and this is the image. Now, all the designing that we are going to do is with the help of these set of tools itself. And you might be amazed, like how can only these set of tools make everything possible? Yes, it can make possible. Remember, UX UI is not about complicating your designs. It's all about simplifying your designs, making it very, very easy for the users to do it. Okay. I'm sure I don't have to explain you all each of these tools, but again, any tool, even if I take a circle, you will have the same amount of options. You have the appearance, which is the overall opacity, the fill color, the color of the circle, the stroke of the circle. You can increase the stroke width, okay, depending on the stroke. I gave a lot of stroke, okay. And then you have the effects and the export, okay. So there's nothing in new that you will have apart from these as options as well. And with these options only, all the beautiful UI that you see is going to get created. But some interesting facts. Now, if I draw a circle, you see there is a another small little circle over here. Can you all see that? Everybody? Yes or no? Everyone. Perfect. Now, this circle is called as the arc. You can see I can cut over there and create the arc that I wish to do. Okay? You see? With that one circle, I can create the arc. Along with that, there's an now there's a start of the arc and end of the arc. Okay, you can sweep all of that. Then you have this middle circle, which is nothing but cutting it from the center. Okay, the middle circle is nothing but cutting it from the circle. Now, where do you use all of this? Can somebody tell me where do you use these over here in your UI designs? Somebody. For progress bars, loaders, graphics, all of that. See, I just created a very simple progress bar based on my requirements. I want to put it more, I want to put it less. I can then decide. Okay, timer, anything. See, one circle has so many options. Interesting, right? How many of you learned this for the very first time? If yes, then just put one in the chat box. Just put one in the chat box if you all were not aware of this. Perfect. Awesome. Then you all are going to enjoy a lot more as we continue forward. Perfect. So now, along with the circle, you have something at the edges. Okay, I want to have this rounded edges at the circle. Then you have this roundness. See, you see in the appearance, you have roundness over here. This is called as the roundness beside the opacity. As soon as I increase, you see it became completely rounded. Perfect. Now, same way, if I am going to take a square and I'm going to draw a square, now you see again there are 4 single dots. That is nothing but the radius. Roundness or radius, which is over here. I can increase the radius and you can see it is becoming rounded corners. This is called as the radius. Okay. So once again, let's do it. I will take the circle. Okay. I have drawn a circle. I am using the arc tool, reducing the arc, okay, at one place. Then I'm taking the center tool and I can decide if I want to swipe in, swipe out, okay. And let's say I want this edges to be rounded. Then I will go to the right side. I will take the corner radius and increase the value. And I've got the corner radius. Everybody clear with this? Yes? Perfect. Can I go further? Awesome. So now you have understood this part as well. Lovely. Let's delete all of this. Let's take the next tool, polygon. I draw a simple polygon. You see over here, you see count. Here you see radius. 2 different circles. Now again, remember, circle outside is having some external value. Circle inside is nothing but the radius. Okay. So if I use the radius circle, it is changing the pointed edges. Even if I don't want to do it like this, I can go here also and manually do the radius over here. Then if I do the outside one, you see it is telling the count. Can you see it is telling count 3? Now if I drag it, if I take dragging it, you can see the count is increasing for the polygonal shape. Okay, clear everybody? So I can increase or decrease the count over here. Perfect. Lovely. Now I'm going to delete this as well. Let's say I take the star tool. Okay. Again, star tool has, you can see this one is count, this one is radius, and this one is ratio. Okay. Ratio is in and out of the star. Okay. How depth you want, that is the ratio. The roundness edges of the star. Okay. And the number of count for the star that you want to add. Clear? Everybody? How entirely all the designs happen in Figma? Okay. A lot more to do. We are still in the very basic phase. Okay. We are going to explore a lot more. And then comes the image. If you select it, it is just going to ask you for an image, which I just can directly click and place, or I can just drag it and it will come in the size that I want. Okay. So two options of the image. Okay. If I click on the image, let's say I take this image, either I click it, it will come to the actual full size, whatever it is. Or if I take this image, okay, and oops, let me find some set. I should have saved some images. Okay. I take this image, or I just need it of this size. I can just drag it without leaving my mouse and decide the size of the image. Now, but we never ever use this image tool. Okay. Openly telling. We don't use it much. Why? I'll tell you a simple reason. Because I have decided that I need image inside this box or this size. I will go to the fill. In the fill, now you have multiple options over here. The second option is the gradient. If you want to add a gradient in your shape, the third option is nothing but if you want to add a pattern inside your this thing. Okay, so you can decide the X and Y pattern, whether you want a hexagonal pattern or a square pattern. The third option is nothing but the image. You see, it became checkered box. Now I can select upload from computer and I can select the same image and it will fit inside that. Now the image is in fill mode. I can go fit mode. It is fitting exactly. Or I can go to the crop mode or tile mode. Okay. And I can decide how, see, tile mode, it is replicating itself multiple times like a pattern. Okay. Okay. If I go to the crop mode, the same image, I can just crop it the way I want it from my requirement, as per my requirements. So this is how the entire image options work. Everybody, I'll repeat it once again. Yeah. So I'm deleting this. I'm going to select this square, draw a square. Okay. And then I'm going to use the fill option, click on the image option, select it from my computer. So let's say I will take some of this image. Let's say it got filled. So if now two things. Let me take another image so that you all get a better example. So let's say I'll download some image from internet of landscape. Okay. Let's say we take this image. Oops. Anything from, yeah, this one. Yeah, I save this image. Okay. Now I'll upload from my computer once again. Okay, this is the image. Now let's say I want to move this image up and down. Okay, little bit. I want to show more of the sky and less of the water. I cannot do this. Okay, I have to drag it and do it like this. Okay, one way. But better is if I do that. See, I come to fill. It is automatically center fill. As soon as I move it a little, also it goes into the crop mode. You see, it goes into the crop mode, and I click out, it is automatically outside. Now I double click, I can move it in, I can move it up as per my requirements. Now with this comes lot more other things that you can do. With an image, you can change its exposure and all of this. All your camera filters and settings that you do, saturation settings, temperature settings, tint settings, highlight settings, shadow settings. All of these are nothing but a general photo editing uh, features or settings that you do. I can even double click on it. Let's say you have done all of this and you want to reset. Just double click on this. Okay. So double click, double click, double click in the center. Automatically it will come back to 0. Okay. Along with this, you also have something called as blend mode. Okay, you have this blend modes over here. You can even change the blend mode of the image, just like Photoshop, the blend modes that we use. Okay, we can even do that over here. But an other interesting part. Now let's say on top of image you want to add text. Okay, generally I want to add this text. Let's say Figma Basics class. Okay, which is the text tool, which is T over here. Is this text going to be visible? No, right? It is not visible. Correct. So in that case, we generally add a black color shadow or tint on top of the image. Correct. We add a depth of black color at the bottom of the image, if you all have observed it. So how do I do that? Instead of me creating one more layer like this, okay, what we might end up doing is we might do this. Then to this I will add a gradient. Then to this gradient I will set the gradient from bottom to top. Okay, then the gradient I will, let's say the top gradient, I'll make its opacity to 0, but the bottom one, let's say I'll make it to black like this. Okay, then let's say this gradient layer, I will send it one step below from the layers. Okay, then let's say this I will increase it or decrease it. All of the settings that I might have to do over here just to get this thing right. Correct. As you see, I have to adjust this manually like this to get this right. Now, this one little small layer, if I don't have and if I have, you can see the amount of difference it is making. Can you see the difference that it is making? It is, right. Let's say if I have it a little bit more darker, this particular background, and let's say if it blends a little bit more well, like this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and this color going like this. So technically it's supposed to be full end to end. Okay, and now you can see like it exactly blends, and I can decide the way I want this to be. Yeah, it is blending well. Now this particular layer, okay, you can see the amount of difference it is adding to your design. But instead of me doing this with a separate layer and all of this, there's an easier way to go about it. On this layer, the first one, you have already added a image. It's a rectangle in which you have added an image. You see a plus icon. This is the benefit of Figma. You can stack multiple things on top of each other. Now I can add another fill, and then I can tell this as a linear gradient. Okay, I can reverse this, and I can make this opacity to become 0, and this I can adjust over here. Okay, and this linear gradient percentage I can manage over here. See, I got it much more perfectly. Can you see? And I can even adjust over here. The same effect added, but by layers in the fill. So one layer less, but in the same layer, everything is done. Okay. And then I can even add another on top of it. I can add some pattern on top of it. Okay. I can, now there are two things. You can select source. One pattern source could be from the Figma file itself, or I can set up source from some other element. So let's say I want to add a pattern. Okay, I will take a square over here. Let's say this is my, let's take circles as our pattern. Okay, I'll take, okay, arrow. Okay, let's take this arrow as our pattern. Okay, this is the shape that I want. And again, to this, I will have rounded edges. So everything is rounded at the end. This I want to make it as a pattern. So I select this, come to the pattern, select source, and it is asking from where you want the source to be. As soon as I select that particular element, you see the pattern got created over here. You see multiple arrows coming. Now I need to adjust pattern size, spacing in X direction, spacing in Y direction. Okay, you can see how I'm adjusting with the pattern. Okay, and you can align the pattern center or whatever, and your pattern is added. Now let's say I update my pattern color to some other color. Okay, let's update the pattern color to red or yellow. You can see the same is being updated over here. Can you see it, everybody? Yeah, clear? Okay, I'm just showing you the options, guys. Okay, don't judge the design skills over here. It's for you to learn the options. We'll make better designs with all these options later, but I'm just explaining you. Okay, so we understood. See, now you can even hide over here. You don't need to delete anything. You can even hide them over here. Minus is nothing but to remove them. Okay, so minus is to remove them, but you can hide if you want it or you don't want it. You can decide it. And then this entire square or rectangle, I'll have some border radius. You can see now rounded edges added. Automatically the look and feel became very nice. Didn't do anything much. Just one rectangle adding on top of each other all the fills and added a text and it's done. Now let's say with this text, let's say I take another circle, I draw a circle, okay, and then I take the arrow tool to draw an arrow like this, small little arrow, okay. I put it inside this. I will have it as fully rounded. Take the circle, get it over here. Now I'm using the scale tool. Okay, I press K because I want to reduce the size of all these elements. I reduce it, come back to V tool, moving it, put it at the corner, rotate it. I want to rotate this in this angle. Okay, and put it to this corner, and I am done. I can then change the color of this button, whether I have this white color button and the color of the this also. I can change it as per my requirement. And my small little card is ready with whatever little bit that we could do. Okay, everybody clear so far? Yes or no? So far, everybody. Okay. Should we have a 5 minutes break? People are asking for like 5 minutes break. Should we have a 5 minutes break? Okay. So I am right here. Let's all connect back in 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes break. 10:40, 10:45, we start again. Okay. Everybody. The people who are going to stay by till the end are the ones who are going to benefit the most. Okay. So try not to leave the call. Even if you leave, just join back in 5 minutes. See you all in 5 minutes. Until then, the ones who don't want to take the break, I am free to discuss with all of you. So I will allow you all to speak. 1 second. And in the meantime, you all can send in your reactions as to how do you feel so far. Okay. Can you just put it in the chat? How do you all feel until now? You can even unmute yourself. I think it will be nice if you all can come on videos, right? I think you all should put on some videos. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. You can even now put on your videos. You can even put on. Let's interact, guys. Let's build some connections with each other. I know you all are designers, and good and clear. Thank you so much. Your teaching is methods are very much nice. Okay. I wish I can start early, but what is happening is many at times everybody is in the dinner time. As soon as I put between 8 to 9, everybody is having dinner. So I don't want you all to come with your dinner and then you are eating dinner and watching screen. Never ever we are going to learn like that. I want your full attention, so that's why I prefer little late in the nights. Okay, it's so understanding and clear. Can we get the recording? The entire recording will be available. Don't worry. Uh, Sir, can I take frame in 2 columns? It's right or not? Sir, I can take frame in 2 columns. Yeah, you can. You can. Everything is possible. As we go forward, we'll end up designing one entire screen today. Okay. Anybody would like to unmute and ask some questions? Go ahead. We are just on a small little break. Okay, 5 minutes break. Lot more to do. So I am more excited. But anybody, what is the difference between rectangle versus frame? Okay, rectangle is a shape and inside that shape another shape won't come in, but inside a frame multiple shapes or multiple layers can come in. Okay. And also for a frame you get an one additional option, which is clipping of your content, but whereas for the shapes you won't get that option. Dumb, but what is the difference between visual design and UX design? It's okay. Ask all your dumb questions, no problem. This is all for basics. It's important that you clarify your foundational knowledge. How, sir, show us how to save the file and how to open the file. No problem. Figma auto saves all your file. Okay. So if this is, I'll show it. Don't worry. And you don't have to click Control S or Save As or anything. uh, how do we create shadows, x and y value way to use? I'll explain that, Vinoti, once again. Now coming back to the question of Khushi, what you asked, UX stands for user experience. Now you are designing the experience of the UI of the user, whereas UI stands for the visual interface or the user interface, which is nothing but the layer that the people are going to see. Now, the very basic way, if I have to tell you the difference, is in UX. Let's say if you take any fitness app, okay, over there you will be like, people are first going to enter their height, weight, then their uh, num- amount of water that they drink every day, and etc. And then click next. After they do that, their profile will get created. After that, the next step. Now, this is nothing but the flow of the app or the journey of the user that you are deciding. That is the UX part. Now, visually, how is it that they are going to enter all of those values and select all those options is nothing but the UI part. So, UX and UI both go hand in hand, but at the same time, UX itself has multiple sub layers. One is designing the UX for your entire user navigation from one screen to the other screen. But there is also something called as UX research, where you understand what is it that the consumers are wanting from your app, or the expectations from uh, your customers or from the company. What are the expectations that the customers have? So that's the entire research part. So UX has the UX research and the UX design, and then UI is nothing but the visual interface. Sir, can you explain about the layout grid systems again? I will explain. When we are going to design our one screen, we are going to use all of those options. First, just understand the options, that, okay, what all is available. How do we use it more? Don't worry, you will understand. And Framer and Figma are interrelated, and which one is better? Framer is a platform or a tool to build your websites. It is not a tool to build your UX UI designs. Okay, it is purely for website design. The options are same, but the interrelation or connection between Framer and Figma is, whatever you design on Figma, you can transfer that directly to Framer as a website. That's the only connection that they both have. Sir, how do you think about design? A very good question. Now, it comes with practice, a lot of patience, a lot of rejections that you need to face through. But it again boils down to solving problems. What is design? In simple words, it's all about solving the problem in the most simplest way. That's what is all about design, at least in this design. And there's another statement where you will put that design is all about creating something to stand out from your competitors, where you want to grab users' attention or their eyeballs so that you stand out, and then you have done the purpose of solving their problem. And UX is actively done by users and UI elements done by the users. Okay, I think I'm answering most of the questions. Show us how to save the file. How much design experience do you have? Was it difficult for you? Okay, I didn't have much of difficulties because, one, I used to enjoy drawing and painting, first of all. And then after my 10th class, I was very much clear that I wanted to get into the field of designing. And then I started to learn from YouTube itself, starting to learn of Photoshop, how to build HTML websites or pages, anything that used to come related to design. Because my dream at that point of time, being that small, was like, someday, whatever I design, I want to put it out in the hoardings. Whatever I design, I want to print it. That is what I want, was my little dream. It all started with, and slowly I ventured into graphic design, and slowly transitioned into UX UI design. Overall, if you ask me for my experience, my work experience is around 14 years. My learning experience also, if I add, it will all become 16, 17 years. And then further, I did my bachelor's in animation and multimedia, which is all in the field of design itself. And Yeah, that's little much. I'll talk about my more journey some other time, but I hope that helps you, Kamakshi. How can I apply UX UI design jobs, and which websites are currently the best for finding opportunities? Vinoti, I would recommend, instead of directly applying for jobs, first build a portfolio. Amazing portfolio should be sent to people or showcase it on your digital platforms. You will have opportunities popping up if your portfolio is automatically good. At the same time, LinkedIn recommendations work the best. Naukri as a website gives you good opportunities as well. One more question. If someone asks me what is ideal margin and gutter, is laptop, desktop, tablet, phone, watch. Uh, Now, for each of them, the gutter and the margin or the grid layout varies. You can easily find the grid systems online for different devices and device types. Okay. In the resource links that I will share, that will be added as part of it. Don't worry. Sir, since AI is now doing a lot of basic design work, how do you see roles of graphic designers and UX/UI designers changing over the next few years? Which field do you think is safer from AI and automation? See, we are living in the world of AI, and there's no option of finding opportunities where AI won't impact. The only option that we all will be left with is to adapt to it, implement in ourselves also as day-to-day life part, and increase the productivity. Now, what is AI doing? It is just helping you increase your productivity and save a lot of time. Correct? So you will have to correlate each other, integrate in your day-to-day activities, and make it work for you. At the same time, one, the jobs are going away for those people who are not adapting to AI, because it has become this way. Like if a company had 10 people doing the task, now you need 5 people with AI doing the same task. Okay. But who are those 5 people? You still need people to prompt, right? You still need people who have a good taste of design. So now what has become more important is you building up a good taste of design. What is good? You building up a good observational skills. Like even if today you generate designs out of AI, it makes a lot of mistakes. And AI cannot judge good or bad. You are the judge. Okay. AI, if you tell AI, is this bad? It will tell, yeah, it is bad. These are the 10 mistakes. You tell AI, this is good. Oh, yes, this is amazing. The way, whatever answer you want to expect, you will get that as an output. Remember that. Yes, it is evolving, things are improving, it is going to save a lot of time. Like previously, designers never used to get a ready code output as such, but today all of that is becoming possible. So it's all about you learning and upskilling. So once you're in the field of design, trust me, it's been 14 years. It's not like whatever I learned 2 years back is what I'm living my life with. Every day there is still a learning. It's an ocean, guys. It's an ocean. There's no end. Like I myself still feel every day I'm learning. As and when I'm teaching you guys, also sometimes I get to learn. Okay, or maybe I recollect things that I have forgotten previously. Now, I know we are almost done with 10 minutes of break. I think let's continue. So, one more minute before I just get there, I will take a couple of questions. Can you tell me about variables, tokens, and how to use in a Figma, advanced Figma? Not right now. Sir, can we get back to the Figma now? And I think we need another session on your design journey and everything about design. Sure, someday I'll do that. So, for the portfolio, should the project be case study or something, or just show UI? Gopal, I have uploaded the entire workshop on how to build your portfolio. You can go check it out on our YouTube. I will share you that. How to create shadow X and Y value, way to use. Vinoti, I'm going to cover that. I have made some posters, wallpapers, etc. All of that making AI. I even tried to modify elements. So what should I do more? Uh, you connect with me on WhatsApp or share it in the discussion group. AI is not replacing designers, it is replacing repetitive work, the real value. Yes, all of that is right. Okay, how do we use slots and draw mode and all? Can we have one session on branding design as well? Branding, yes, totally. That's what I've started my journey with as a brand designer. I understand that tools don't make designer. Apart from Figma, what tools do you think every UX UI designer should know? I think if you know Figma in and out with FigJam, you are there. You other tools I would recommend you should have good knowledge with Illustrator and Photoshop. Very must. If you want to make beautiful UI with interactions, Photoshop and Illustrator are must. And let's say you want to go one level up, where you want to make micro interactions, where all those animations and all are happening, which is like motion UI or motion graphics. That's an add-on skill if you can add on to yourself, learning a bit of making those micro interactions using After Effects or using Lottie files, all of that. Rive is another competitor that is growing in the field of motion design. Okay, now let's go ahead, and I think we had a good break time. Shall we continue, everybody? Yes, you can share your portfolio links in my WhatsApp discussion group. I think you all are part of the discussion group, Designer Hub discussion. If you're not part of the discussion group, just click on the community. You will find the discussion group. You can join and share over there. I have been reviewing and giving feedbacks to a lot of portfolios. Not just me, there are other people also in the group who will do that for you. So do that. Okay, back to our Figma. Perfect. Is the screen visible? I think now I need a big break because I have been talking consistently. But give me a minute. I'll just drink some water and come. Give me a minute. Okay, guys. Now, coming back, we have been covering all of these tools. Everybody's clear with the shape tools so far? Yeah? Okay, perfect. Now, I will go back and explain the shadow part, way to use the X and Y, because Vinoti has been consistently asking that. So I select the shape. I click on add effect. I will add the drop shadow over here. You can see X is nothing but the X position and the Y position. X position is nothing but the left to right. Okay. You can have minus value, which is on the left, and plus value, positive value, which is on the right. Okay. And then you have the Y value, which is top and bottom. Okay. Just like in our school days in 10th class, if you have done that graphs, X, Y. Okay. So this is the X and Y value. And then let's say I need the shadow like this, and then this is the blur value, how much blur I want my shadow to be. Okay, now you see a depth is being created because of the shadow. To the card I will add some radius. Okay, and with the shadow opacity spread, I can increase, I will keep the spread like just a little, and opacity I'll just put a little. And now you can see it looks like a card which is having some floating on top of the screen just because of the shadow. If I turn off the shadow, it becomes flat. Just adding the shadow, you can see the depth add. Now in the shadow, you have inner shadow as well. So now the same shadow, if I see, it is adding depth inside. Now if I make the X and Y value 0, okay, then what happens? Then whatever effect you are doing comes in on all the directions. Okay, see, okay, it comes in all the directions, the amount of depth and everything. Now you see, what does it look like? As if there is a cut and a depth that has been created just because of the shadows. Shadows play a very very big role in your UI design. Remember that, guys. Okay, you need to master how to use shadows properly. So you will find a lot of ways to create shadows, but again, on top of this I can add another shadow. Again, you can stack multiple shadows, multiple effects together. Okay, so up to you guys. How you play around with all of this is your, like, I take the noise into it, another effect. Okay, and I can increase the noise value, decrease the noise value, and you can have dual noise, multi noise, a lot of stuff inside it. Now you see, just a noise also has been added and a shadow also exists. Okay, again, position of this up and down also makes sometimes a lot of difference, but you get the output. Do you all understand the options? Everybody clear with the shadow part? Vinoti, I hope your answer is done. Okay, where can we use noise? We do use noise in a lot of our design elements, in a lot of banners and graphics, and all of that. Can we create portfolio on Figma? Yes, you can. Okay, let's continue forward. Let's go to next steps. Glass effect and all of that, I'm more than happy to show you, but we will explore as we continue designing further. We will explore all of those options. Okay. At the same time, you can also keep exploring, guys. Keep exploring. Now, if I take the line tool and I draw a line, I'm just showing all the possible options today. It's all about basics. Okay. You have inside line, outside line. This we'll decide later. So line is nothing but a stroke, and you have rounded edges. So if I increase the thickness, you will understand. Yeah. So This is a sharp edges. If I need rounded edges, I can. If I need square edges, again square. If I need arrow at the left, okay, arrow, this kind of arrow, circle arrow, diamond arrow, different types of endpoints that you can have. So you have options for the left and you have individual options for the right. Okay. And so you can see how you can change like different ways you can create different options. See, just with this also I was able to create this. Many a times people use this like this. See, it is just created. Okay, like where do we use this? Step flow. If you want to showcase a step flow, you can, it is done. A step flow has been created just with one stroke. Having those, instead of drawing circles, I have just added the corner ends over here. Okay, or I don't need the corner end on the left side, so I will do none. Okay, so here there is nothing, only on one side I have added it. Okay, so this is how you create different kinds of options and you utilize them. Now along with this, in the stroke, coming to some more options. Okay, with the stroke you have this extra options. You need a solid stroke or a dashed line. Okay, now how many dashes that you want, what is the width of the dash that you want. Okay, all of that you can set over here. Then you need a dynamic one, frequency, and all, or you needed something like a brush. Okay, you can see how different options are just changing different elements. See, this is like a brush stroke. Okay, I have done this extra properties, and then I can define direction of the brush. I can even define the type of brush. See, possibilities of Figma. Crazy, right? Everybody, isn't this crazy? So many options in just one stroke element. Yeah, so all of these options are easily available inside Figma itself. There's no external tool or external software that I'm using. Now that we have covered all of these options, let's also go and explore the next set of options. Pencil, I'll take the first one. Nothing but you can draw randomly. Whatever you draw will have the same options that of stroke. You can just convert that to brush. You can give nice brush feel. You can increase the stroke width and all of that. Okay. So this is the brush tool, pencil tool. And then you have the pen tool, just like click, draw all of this as you keep going, and you can end, end the point, and you have your pen tool. And with the pen tool, as soon as you see, you have other options because I selected a custom path. It has automatically got its awesome options over here. I can select it. Okay, now this is like double click. I got the point. I want to create a bend over there. I can just create a bend. I create a bend. Okay, I want to paint this entirely. I want to fill it. I have painted it. There's a color that is added. I can change the color. Okay, then let's say I want to create a lasso. I want to select these parts and then move it, or I can only select the points that I want to select with this lasso tool. Those 2 points will be selected and I can move around. And I can cut somewhere, like I create a cut over here, automatically it is cut. Okay, and more is nothing but the shape builder tool as well. You also have the shape builder tool and variable width. You can select anywhere, increase the width over there. See, manually adjusting all of these options. Okay, I am using a free version of Figma. All of these options are in free version. What does paid version limit you with? Let's understand that also. The only option of problem of paid version is you cannot have more than 3 pages and you cannot have more than 3 projects. That's the only limitation. There is no other feature limitation. And you just have limited credits for your AI tools on monthly basis. That's all. Okay. There's no other limitation in your free versus paid. Majorly, at least if you're on the UX UI design side. But if you're a developer, then it makes a lot of difference. Okay, so you all understood this tool. Now you also have a shape builder tool. How many of you know shape builder tool, what it can do, what it cannot do? Anybody having an idea of the shape builder tool? Everybody clear, right? So far clear, everybody so far? Perfect. Okay, okay, perfect. Connect the shapes. Okay, no problem, I'll show you. So let's say we have a custom shape here created. Then I have another this circle, and then I have another circle like this. All these three, let's say I convert them to stroke, I remove their fills. Now, if I select the three, okay, I want to go forward and want only this particular part. Okay, so then I can select the shape builder tool and select that particular part over here. Okay, so I'll have to come here, go into that point mode, select this. All the three are selected. Now I come over here, shape builder tool. See, I can select which shape I want to create out of all of this. I can create a custom shape joining these two. Okay, so I join these two, a custom shape has been created. See, or I need a shape builder tool. I just select this and I got this particular shape. Okay, so this is how shape builder tool works over here. Clear, everybody? Clear, not clear? Okay, awesome. Then I delete all of this. Let's go to the next tool. Next tool is the text tool. In text tool, you have text on path and normal text. If I type the text, you can just type anything. So, hello, welcome to the workshop. It's so good to see you all awake at 11:05 p.m. Okay. So this, I again for each text you have this some of the typography options, alignments, center align, right align. Okay. Then whether align middle, align bottom, align top. This is nothing but in the paragraph when you have multiple, you can align that. Then this is the distance between the lines, which is nothing leading. Like if I put 20, you can increase the distance or the gap between the lines. Okay, then you can use all different fonts that you have from your system inside Figma, all your fonts. Okay, let's say I use this font. Then this is the font size. You can increase to whatever size that you want. Okay, let's say I take 20. Okay, I can even now if I want, if I make this small, you see the box is going small and all of it. It's not happening properly. So I'll use the K tool, scale tool, and then I make it small. It works perfect. So automatically my font size is also reduced and everything is taken care if I do it with the scale tool. And along with that, you have other extra options like over here, justify text, underline, strike. Okay. And inside strike also, you have got multiple options, style of the strike. So let's say if I take underline, you have dotted underline, you have like curvature underline. Then you can define the thickness of the underline, offset of the underline. So many options available, guys. So many options. Okay. Going back, if I remove the underline, okay, nothing. Then I can have all uppercase, all small case, all first letter caps, and all of those options as well. And then this is nothing but, you see, if I put this text, there is a box which is coming outside. Okay, but if I want to align the text inside the exact box, then you can see that is also adjusted over here. So this is the text vertical trim or the baseline, setting the baseline. Where do you want your baseline to be? Till end to end of the letters or at the actual baseline. Okay. If you don't know what exactly is baseline and all, go do check out my typography video. You will learn a lot about typography. And then you have something called as the paragraph spacing between the paragraph. Okay. You can even set the spacing over here. Okay. And then you have one amazing option, which is truncate text. Okay. So if you want to truncate the text after how many lines, okay, you can even truncate the text, and depending on the width, it will auto truncate. You see, dot dot dot. How much ever big text you put, it will become dot dot dot. So all the text options are clear to you, everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. So I think text option is also clear for everybody. Let us go and continue more forward. Then text on path. So let's say I take a pen tool, I draw a path like this. Okay, a random path. Then I can take text on path. I can just click anywhere on this and I can start typing my text. And the text color was, you can see, I started typing. Okay. And then I can move this around wherever I want it in my path. And I can copy this entire text, paste it, and you can see it is coming. I can change the path. I can I can move the entire text as per my requirements. Okay. Clear everybody how it's working? Perfect. So can we do it on a circle? Yes. I take a circle. I'll take text on path. Now here is what we are typing on a circle. Clear? It's happening. You can move the text the way you want it, and that's done. Clear everybody? Perfect. Then coming to the next set of options, I'll delete all of this. You have something called as the comment, annotations, and measurements. Comments are nothing but if you want to leave any comments for other designers, like, hey, change the image. So that's a comment that is left for me. And anybody others also can see this comment, what is written over here. Okay. So a lot of comments can be left for people to check it out. Annotations are nothing but writing over here, something like this image has a pattern and this should be animated or moving. So these are like writing small little notes for your developers that they will have to follow. Okay. These are available in the free version also nowadays. Figma got updated. It has got a lot of features. These options are available in the free version as well. And then you have the measurement tool. Like if you want to exactly know what is the gap between this to this, you can draw it and you will have all your measurements. So this is like create one screen for your developers to know, okay, what is the spacing from end to end, from here to here, all of that. So you can draw measurements which can be visible even outside like this. Okay, they can be clearly visible. You can see measurements have been created over here for the developers to follow or for anybody as a designer to follow. So that's the measurement tool. I can select the measurement and delete the individual measurement as well. Okay. Okay, delete. So delete is nothing, just select and pressing the normal delete button. Select, press delete. Select the comment. I'll have to just click on X. I can like delete this. Okay, or I can mark as the tick mark. Can we use the ruler also for measurement? No, the ruler will not give you the correct one. Okay, the ruler, as you keep zooming in, zooming out, the ruler will keep changing. Okay, but along with that, now coming to the other parts, some things that I have to still show you. Now for this particular thing, if I have added the layout grids, I want to know the end and this both the ends. So now I'm dragging from the rulers and drawing a grid line. Okay. So now even if I hide this, you see there are two little red lines that are visible over here. These are nothing but the grids that I can pull in. So I can have these grid lines which I can follow towards. Okay. That I want to create for my this thing. Now again, I can go to view and hide grids, or it's better that I don't use grid lines, but I use those visible columns and layout grids. Just thought to show you. And then lastly, you have all of these other actions which are based out of Figma. Now a lot of actions and a lot of things available here. We will explore as we go forward. Then you have the draw mode. Okay, here you can have the same tools but with little extra features, like you have a brush tool. You can select the brush size, opacity, type of brush, and directly draw the brush the way you want it. So let's say I change the color. Okay, and then you can see how the brush is working up to me. So this is the draw tool. Okay, over here. And this is the dev tool, which is nothing but for the developers. This comes in the pro version. Let's not even get there because we are not over here to develop anything. We will stick back to our main design tool, which is over this one. Okay, so design, draw, and developer mode. Okay, so coming back to the design mode, we have covered all the tools that we have on the bottom, and we have almost covered most of the options which come for each of the element on the right side panel. So far, everybody is clear? Yes or no? Everybody clear? Perfect. Awesome. Now let's go one step little deeper. Okay. To go one step deeper, we'll take a sample screen and we will start designing it so that you all also understand how the designing works. To start initially, start replicating any of the screen. It's not necessary that you have to start with a blank screen because it becomes a problem because you might not get ideas or you might not know how to do it. So it's better you go to Pinterest, take any screen, okay, so I have already curated some basic screens for practice purpose so that you don't end up taking some heavy screens which are not possible. So this is part of the giveaway. All of this, some of the screens that you can pick and create. Okay, so let's say I take this one screen for time being. I'll copy this screen and we'll go to practice design file. I am pasting it over here. Again, to this I can change the background to dark mode. Okay, over here. Yeah. So should we create the screen? Yes, everybody? Are we ready to do it? Yes, or you all are sleepy? Now, no, right? 10 more minutes, okay? We should complete this entire screen in 10 minutes. That's the goal. I can do it in even like 5 minutes, but I'll have to explain, and go for it. So I'll go a little slow. So, firstly, I'll go with a frame that I want to, okay? So, select frame, and let's say I'll go with the basic. Sorry, I'm taking the wrong frame. Uh, yeah, I'll go with this Android frame. I'm just checking over here if this one works for me in terms of ratio or the scale. I think it almost works. Doesn't make much of a difference. Okay, ignore the mockup. So I'll go with this frame. Okay, and technically, now another good thing for you all to learn. I don't want all this orange part and all. So I can just press Control and then drag it so it will automatically crop that particular image for me. I'm pressing Control, okay, guys, and then I'm cropping it from all the directions. So I got this, and I'm just putting it here and putting the K tool to scale it, and I have my screen side by side. Now, what do I have to do is just starting to design this part. Okay, so we'll start with the basic text image. So just understand what all tools are there. Everything is text and shapes only. Okay, guys. So 10 minutes and then you all can hit the bed. So let's start with the rectangle. I'll take this rectangle. Now, if I want pixel perfect, okay, it's all about getting a pixel perfect design, right? That's our end goal. Any designer or any design has to be pixel perfect. Try and analyze your grids. Okay. So first right click, frame selection, because to the frame I can add layout grids. I will add columns. Okay. I'm first trying to analyze the margin. You can see the margin is 20, perfectly fitting. And let's say if I want to analyze my this, I have, okay, this is also perfect. And my gutter, I think they have taken to 10. Okay. You see, I found exactly the grids that they are following. Can you see that? Everybody, you can see how the grids have been followed. Now I'll take this, okay, and I will apply the same layout grid columns. I understood that, okay, it is 6 columns, my margin is 20 and my gutter is 10. I got my grid layouts, so I can just blindly follow my grids now. Perfect. So this is and then you can see this is exactly the size of the grid. This is the start point. This is all of it. Okay. Now that I've got my grids in place, designing becomes much easier. Just take the rectangle, draw it end to end. Okay, and just go for it. I'm not even going to worry about the sizing and all of it much. Just let's start doing. And then I'm going to type the text. Hello. I'll just put DesignerHub. Okay. And I know it is a bold font. I'll go with Inter itself. Now, if I increase like this, it won't work. So I need to use the K tool, scale tool, and then increase it. Okay. So I have my hello over here. Okay. And then there's a circle. So I'll take a circle and I'll draw a circle which ends here and which touches this grid. And this both are center align or middle aligned. I'll just take the position thing and middle align each other. And this is over here. Then I have this particular part, and I will just see the corner radius. I think 20 is what they have used. Visually, I'm just judging, or maybe they have used 24. Yeah, looking at it. And then again, you have a lot of text inside it. So let's start typing the text. Your daily balance. It is not bold, but it is medium, and the text is little small. So again, every text will technically be in multiples of 4. Okay, so this should be 24. This could be 20. Okay, then let's say I go down. I will put goal food plus exercise. Okay, and I'm reducing the font size. I'm just following the grids till where it is coming, and based on that, okay. So either I can go 12, okay, or I can go 16. Okay, but I think 12 is better, and this is good enough. So I'll this on this is done. Next, I'll just see I can see this. Okay, so goals. I'm just going ahead. So maybe this is like 16, and then I have 1,670. I'll make this as little bit of bold, and this is at 20. Okay, so this is one part. Now between this and this, there is something called as gap. Can we use scale tool to decrease font by K? Yes, you can. You can. So the gap between these, you can see over here. Okay, the gap between the elements. Okay, just selecting this and this, and you can see the gap. You can see this and this. I'm selecting. You can see the gap. So again, I'm keeping the gap of 4 between all the elements. Gap of 4. Okay, so I'm Control G grouping this. I go another, and I go another. Okay, I will set all of it properly again in some time as per the required sizes. So I'll make this as exercise, and I'll make this as 0, and this one as food, which I'll make it as 300. Okay, I've got that in place. Then I have a calculator calorie one, which starts from third last grid and ends somewhere half of this particular circle. Okay, so I'll take this, and half of that I've got the grid in place. So this is now first I'll hide the grids over here. Okay, so that I get the correct colors. I'll hide my grid also for time being, and I'll start picking the colors for time being from here itself. My this entire frame color, let me pick it up to black color. This text color is white. Okay, and all of this text that we have, I've selected all of them together. I can see section colors, I've made it to white. Then these all are not pure white. I'm selecting them, and I'm going to reduce their opacity by 50%. I got them ready over there. Now selecting this, if let's say this is pure white, I'll reduce it by 50% or 20%. Maybe I have this color. Then Control C, Control V, making it smaller inside. Okay, and having a gradient, and it's a radial gradient. Okay, and there are two colors in it. So I'm going to pick the two colors, the center one and the outside one. I'm just going to pick the color. I've got the colors in place 100%, and then copy this, paste it again. I got this place. I will make this in black color. Okay, and then I copy this, I paste it again. I bring it over here and put KCAL again, full black first with 50%. Selecting all of this, center aligned. Now selecting this and this between gap, making it to 4. Grouping it, middle align it, perfect. Now we have the outer part to do, this orange part, Control C, Control V. Okay, making it fully 100%, and then selecting the orange color that we have here. Okay, and then I'm going a little bit small from here. Okay, it starts over there on the top little bit. and goes on till here. Okay, perfect. I'll reduce this. Okay, I think this is good enough, and I will have it as rounded edges like this. Okay, you got it. So we are almost there. And then we have these icons. We will do icons at the last, but let's set the alignment. The gap between all of these, I want it to be equal. So you can see this, I will keep it as, let's say, 8. Okay, so 8 or 12. Okay, so now 12 is the gap between all of these. So I have just set it up over here. Now, this section, this font size is a little bit more, so 24. Okay, and just center aligned. Coming back to the group, and oops, selecting the circle also and aligning with the circle center. Okay, and I think it is not pure black, so maybe it is at 80%. Yeah, this makes more sense. And this one, instead of taking white and then reducing its opacity, I'll take it at full color, but I'll take a color fill of 100%. And now this particular part of the card is ready. Inside this, I have a user image, so I can just go from Google. There are other ways like plugin also. So I can use a avatar plugin or I can use anything else. But let me take a user image like this. Okay, let's say any person, copy image, select this, and I can open this, convert it to image, and Control V. It will automatically paste inside it. Okay, now if I want the face to be a little bigger, all you have to do is select this, click on the image, go to the crop mode, make the image a little bigger. Okay, so now the image is also set. Coming down, duplicate this itself. Okay, I think 16 gap is perfect. I'll reduce, now I'll turn on my grids again. I know this is till this grid, and this I'm just randomly judging the size. Okay, my both of them are ready. And now again my grid off, I've got my two little boxes. The radius is the same, everything is the same. Now all I have to do is create these little small little gaps. Okay, so again I have this another full one over here. Now to easily set everything right, just put grids like this. Okay, so this and this is a group, and I will set to the grid which is over here. Okay, this is done. Now bring this over here. Accordingly select all of this, group it, and accordingly set it. Bring it over here, select it. Now there are other ways to do it also, but as a beginner I'm just showing you how to follow. So now between these two, the gap is 10. Okay, so the same gap has to be followed. So 13, 10. Sorry, between this and this, it's 23. It should be 24. Okay, so I'll stick to 24. And this, I will align it. Now this group to this group, again, I'll make it to 24. Okay, or you can see like maybe there is some mistake. Yeah, the mistake is I did not have the correct size of this thing. So I'll take this correct size also over here. So instead of me drawing the grid inside this, I should have taken this, selected here, and paste it so that the red line is in this grid. Now, again, I'm selecting only this and making it big. I did some mistakes. 1 second. Yeah. Selecting this again, drawing this, selecting this shape, and getting it till there. Oops. Again, I messed up. Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. So now between this and this, you will know the gap. It's of 14 or 16. It will be actually 16. So between this and this also, I'll keep it to 16. Now almost this size is not right, so I'll just consider this over here. Let's say I keep it here, and this size I have reduced it. So this, let's say if I make it to 16 again, I think almost this and this should match. See, it is matching, perfectly matching. I've got my exactly pixel perfect grids also matching it now, removing all the red lines. And now all I have to do is balance this start point for my requirement, grouping this because they go together. Okay, done that. Coming to this part, just taking it over here. I'm just going to group all of this. Okay, and over here, not sure if the size is same. See, you can check over here now. There is a slight difference. I can use the K tool and increase it, and then push it back over here with that. Okay. Otherwise, I could have done on top of this only, but I didn't do it because that way I improve my observational skills if I try not to replicate on top of it. That way, I will be better at designing doing it over here. So let's say I go here. That way, I need to set these goals over here. Now, based on that, I will select the gap between them as 8 or 12. Let's see if 12 is the one to follow. So let's say I come here. Now, this is at the end that I wanted. Now, according to this, I will just distribute it separately center line. Now, I'm just hiding all of this. Okay. And I have my this particular card ready perfectly as per my requirements. The font size of this is a little bigger. So is with this. I'm using the shortcut Control Shift arrow keys, and you can increase the font size. I'm just going to go with my visual feel, whatever works the best. Maybe the fonts. Yeah. Okay. Done. Now let's go ahead, take this itself, put it here, or try it right. Maybe just get the font right, like by, okay, just get it here and get your font size right just by using the scale tool and then analyzing the nearest part. So it is either 20 or 18. But again, because maybe they are using a different font, so I'll go with 20 itself. So this also should be 20, 20. Okay. And this one would be 16. No, I might have to go like 14. It's okay. Not a problem. We have to bring in the consistency. Okay. And when can we use auto layout? Tomorrow is when I will cover the auto layout part. Now, if I would have used auto layout, I would have saved more time right now. But today, I cannot cover auto layout. But now that I have got all of this in place, all I have to do is again duplicate, put my step count. Okay. And along with this, I'll put my second copy style also and paste style also. Okay. And I've got my this part also. And I will just take another rectangle. Now, this is a very good way to make this. Two ways to make this. Either I can use a rectangle, two rectangles, or I just take the line tool. I draw the line tool end to end. I define the color of the line tool. Okay. And then I can define the stroke of the line tool, maybe like 10 pixels or 12 pixels, and have it rounded edges. And my this particular shape is ready. So maybe this is at 12. Okay. So now that this is ready at 12, see, it's perfectly matching. I can just bring this over here and then copy this, paste this again, reduce the size of it, and just change its color to the color that you require. and you have it ready just with the line tool. So I could have used rectangles, or I have done it with the line tool right now. Okay, I can even go this and increase this as per my requirements, or reduce this as per my requirements. That you can play around, no problem. Okay, and then this is little offside. We will add the icon later. Just see the alignments. All of this text is matching the same alignment. So again, match the same alignment. Now all of this, copy, paste it, duplicate it in this perfectly. I'll put it as workout time, and I'll put it as 32 minutes. And this one as today's duration. Okay. So we have got even this in place. And then the last part for the day, which is the weight journey. Oops, I could have taken this itself, copy, pasted it over here, replaced it, last 30 days. Okay. And then you have a graph over here. Again, I can create all of this with lines, or I can do it with this. But now let's take, so you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 lines. So I'll just take any of this. Okay, done. 4 lines taken. Now the line style, if I come back, they are dashed lines, with the dash being little bit big. Okay, and the opacity of them I can reduce to 20, and I can reduce even further. So I'll rather have it 100 first. I'll group it, and then over here I'll reduce it. Okay, so I can have it as like 8. Okay, now those lines are here. Now you have Monday to Sunday. So I'll just, I know it is this font size I have taken over here. So let's say I put Monday. I'll duplicate this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, now I bring this at the last. Select all of this, and I will just click on tidy up. Oops, I'll click on distribute horizontally. I've got them all. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so this is over here. Now all of this I'm selecting, and I'll distribute it perfectly. So this is also done. And then I just have these lines to add. So the same line I can use. Come here, drag it, rotate it. Let's say Monday starts here and go a little above. Duplicate, bring it small, duplicate, take it above, duplicate, same, duplicate, a little touching the line, duplicate, touching this line, duplicate, and a little above. Okay. So now these all lines are ready. I can select them all again properly, and I can distribute them properly. And then to this one, I'm changing the color to that of their orange, and it is done. Okay. Now the last part, 2 things left, which is adding of the icons. Okay, so I will go to this part. I'll search for plugins, and I'll search for icon. Okay, there is this good plugin called Iconify. Okay, so I'll run this. Just let's see if this is the one. So not this. There is one more. I'll open that. Iconify. So now this is over here. You can load plugins inside Figma, where you can find a lot of icons and lot of plugins. So now I'm going to search for icons. Let's say goal. So I say I got my goal icon. I'll import as a frame. The frame is added over here. I'll now see this frame is outside the other frame. Otherwise, see, you can see the name is visible right over here. That means it is not inside this frame. If I cut this and select this frame and paste it, then the name of the layer is not visible. That means it is now inside the frame. So the goal icon size, let's say I keep this down. I want to increase the icon size. Press the K tool and I'll make it to, let's say, 30. Okay. And I'll put it in middle of these two, or the start of that. I think it's in the middle. So middle of this. Okay. Goals have been added. Now section colors. I'll pick the color for this particular goal to the pink color that they have. Okay. I'll define it. Then they have the food icon. Okay. Let's go with the food icon. I'm searching food, and we can try and find the same icon as well. You can see they have spoon and a knife. Okay, so we need to see spoon and knife. uh, we can search for cutlery. Okay, I still don't find the spoon and knife. I'm searching spoon knife, maybe not, but we could take any other icon also. Oops, food. So let's say time being, for our requirement, let's say I go with, but okay, there are tons of icons. It's all about searching. Because of time constraints, I'm not searching it. Otherwise, you will have like multiple pages. You can keep on going to next page, and you can keep on finding the icons as per your requirements. So there are tons and tons of pages for just one set of icon. I can even search fire icon. So you see the fire icon is also available, and I can drag and drop this here as well. I can make this size to 30. K tool 30. Okay, cut the tool, paste it inside this, bring it over here, aligning it to this, and my fire is ready. And my section color to this particular this thing. Lastly, the food icon. Okay, walk icon, foot icon. So footsteps. So I'll put footstep. I got the footstep icon. I'm dragging and dropping it here. Again, my icon size, I'll change it to 30. Okay. So I copy it, come to this, paste to this, and change the color over here to the color that is over here. And my foot icon is ready over here, perfectly middle line. And then I have my time icon. Just search for time icon, drag and drop, K tool. Okay, make it to 30, drag and drop it inside this, perfectly aligned, perfectly aligned. Okay, okay. And change its section color to that of this. Change the line color to that of this. Okay, you see, we have it. Food icon is pending. Let's say I take this for time being. I'll change the icon size to 30, and we have it till here. This is where our food icon comes, and we bring the section color to the blue color that they have. Perfect. Look at it, guys. Image and then this. Yeah, everybody clear? Okay, few more things left before we make it look wow. Okay, just few more things left, and we can do it very quickly, so don't have to worry. 2 minutes more. Okay, the top part, very important, right? This time, this thing and all. Instead of me doing manually, I can click on assets, and because it's an Android one, okay, I can import the material design assets. I clicked on plus. Okay, now if I double click on this, you will have all the components that you have for the mobile. Okay, so every component is available over here. So you can see app bars. You have app bars. You have like avatar, batches, buttons, cards, chips, dialogues, dividers, okay, menu, navigation, search, shape, sheets, slider switches, tabs, text box, toolbars, tooltips, utilities. So inside utilities, I have got this utility as well. I want this. I can just drag and drop on the top. And okay, just for today, I'm exploring this, but I'll have like colors also that I can set and everything. But time being, I can even select the mode over here, like light and insert instance. Okay, that is one option. Or I can select the light as dark and insert instance. So I've got dark version of it. Okay, so let's put this on the top. Okay, top of the frame. So I have to cut this, paste it inside this, now on top of the frame. I've got that part also right now. This middle circle, if not required, we can hide it. So we have got the top part also ready. From the assets, obviously I'll explain assets sometime in more detail later, but I hope you have just understood how I was able to add assets, and all of these material design assets are available over here. Now that this is all ready, last part is this part, navigation. Very simple, which we can complete. I will take a rectangle. I'm drawing the rectangle end to end. Okay. And from here to here. Okay. I'm making it fully rounded as they have. Okay. I just made it rounded. And then to this, I will change its fill color to that of this. Then they have a stroke color, a little bit of gray color stroke. So I'll take the gray color stroke that they have. Maybe the stroke is 2. Okay. A little bit of uh, stroke color being in 1 only, but the stroke color is a little bit bright. So I'll just change. Okay, done. And then I have 4 little icons to add. So again, I'll go to plugins, searching for iconify plugin, and I'll add the icons. Home icon. Okay, that cute little home that we need to add, which is, I think, this one, or there are a lot of home icons, guys. Okay, so anything is fine, but this is the one that we exactly found it. So this is the first icon. Okay, again, its color white. Then we have the walk icon. Okay, so the person walking. So let's say I can take, for timing, I'll not waste much time. I'm taking this icon. But again, the icon style could have been better. So any which is 24. I'm making it to 24 consistently. Okay, so again, coming back to the section color, making it white. I'll align this. Okay, then you have a little bit of small little circle in this center circle. Okay, and then inside this you have the plus icon. I can just take it from here also, or I can just draw my own plus, but that's okay. My plus icon is ready, and plus icon is in white color. My circle is in bright orange color. Okay, then you have the graph icon. Okay, just taking the graph icon and I'm putting it over here. Scale tool. Oops. And changing its section colors. But this graph doesn't look good to me. I think I can find a better graph icon, but it's okay. Timing, we don't have the time. So guys, let's continue with this. And we have the setting icon. Okay. Maybe I need a little thin one. So maybe this one for time being. And I add this again, K24. And the section colors to the white. Okay. So all of this, I have now got it. Middle align. Okay. And then I'm just distributing it properly. Time being this over here. This here. Okay. I think everything is now perfect. For time being, I'm just going to group all of this. Put this group hanging over here. Little bit. That's all. Okay. We have this ready. Our design is completely ready. But look at the level of perfection that it has got. Everyone. Crazy? Did you all enjoy the entire session? Again, the other icons are little off white, so 50% reduced. Yeah. Loving it. Did you all enjoy it? Surely. How much did you enjoy? Okay. Now, another best part. Last part comes the presentation. Again, click on this plugins mockup. Okay, click on mockup. There's this nice little mockup plugin. Run it. Okay. Now, in this mockup plugin, we will find some good phone Android mockup. Okay. So let's say we are taking Android design, right? So I'll just search Android. Take any of your good little nice little mockup like this. Let's find some nice phone. Uh, okay, yeah, this works good. Now to this, click on plus, select your screen. It will automatically crop. It will add it into it, and then decide the size that you want. Okay, I'll take 3000, and then click on paste. Oops, is asking me to subscribe, or we can take some free mockup. Okay, so free only. So these are like free. Okay, I'll take this. Again, I have to select this. Okay, crop it. Okay, and paste it, and that's all. I have it as a perfect mockup ready inside Figma itself. Can you all see it? Awesome. Because I had to explain no auto layouts, nothing. It took me more time. But if we would have done it with auto layouts, it would have taken like hardly 10 minutes, guys. And if we do it with components, even more less time. But yes, all of that for some other day. Today was the goal to show you the basics. Now, how did you all like it? I would like to get some reviews from all of you. Please, please, quickly. Reviews. How does it look like? Okay, Figma Basics. I'm going to put on the link. Take 2 minutes. We are all going to be here before I give you all the giveaway and everything. A little bit more. 5 more minutes. I have sent you a link in the chat. Click on it and put genuinely 3 things that you learned in your feedback and how did you feel with today's session. Okay. How did you all feel? In the this thing. Okay. In the link, please guys. Feedback link. Very, very important. I'm putting it multiple time in the chat. It will help me. And all the people who give the feedback, I send the certificate guaranteed. Okay. A small little token of certificate that you all can be happy about. That okay, something that you liked it. I will share the giveaway after you all complete the feedback. Okay, I'm going to give a giveaway. I'll show my screen. Okay, what is it that you all are going to get? I'll share my screen. Before I share the link, okay, I think you all can see my screen. See, these are all the links that I've collected for a lot of things that you can learn. Okay, this is all about the Pinterest where you can find some screens that you can practice upon. Okay, I have collected some simple ones for you all to start with. No auto layouts, nothing required. I just took a screen from here and I gave it to you. Similarly, I've collected a lot of screens that you can practice from. Then you have all the design principles related entire thing that I've created. Color theory, which is very important for your UI designs and a lot of its resources. Then some kind of mindset that how we should be as type of designers, how we should think. Then for design resources, some 2 websites where you can find all the design resources, all great portfolios that you can find from, about design thinking where you can learn, and all about laws of UX where you can learn. And there's something called some principles of UX guidelines that you should learn. And in this only, I will add in the material design guidelines also, and the grids and everything is already covered in part of some of the links. But yes, I will share all of it to you. Okay. So some feedbacks. Quick, quick, quick. Everybody fill the form. Okay. Quickly. And then I will share this to all of you. Quickly fill the form. Done. Done. Everybody. Awesome. I know, guys, it became too late for you all. Sorry for that. But I hope you all enjoyed the session. Consistently, I have been talking. So, how many of you learned something? Even if you knew a little bit of Figma, did you all learn something new today? If yes, how many of you just put like how many things new did you learn? One, two, three. Just put a number. How many new things did you learn today? Three things at least. Awesome. Awesome. So many of them learned so many things. That's so nice. By till the end, if we had 50 people, it started with like I think 65, 70, and we still have 55 people till the end. That's amazing. I'm so happy that you all took out time, attended, sat for 2 hours, learned it all. I'll stop the recording now and then we'll continue talking. 1 second.